when we say walk, Ishe, when we say walk is unto God. So your walk to man should be seen as a work or a service unto God. Your work unto man should be credited or recognized or seen or interpreted as your service unto God. And that will help you, because when you go to your job tomorrow or you go to your business tomorrow, you now see yourself as not just reporting to your line manager, but you are reporting to God, because it's a service unto God primarily. So you may have a very, very bad boss. Don't react to that guy because he's a bad boss or an unfair boss. See your job as a job I do unto God first. Because when you see God in what you are doing, it changes your perspective. It changes how you do things. Then it makes you do extra, even though you don't feel like doing extra. Based on the perceived quality and the skills that they bring to the table. You get paid based on, what did I call it? Perceived quality of work and skill sets that you bring to the table. I'm going to take that again so it enters. You get paid based on the perceived quality of work and the skill sets that you bring to the table. And intentionally, I said that 3 times. One is perception. So your employer feels that, I think you can do this. I think you qualify for this. That's why certain people get promoted and some people don't get promoted, because it's about perception. There's a way you need, so the perception is not on God, it's now on you. The responsibility to create to make people have the right perception about yourself is not on God, but on who? On you. Somebody has to think that you deserve it so that you can now have it. Somebody needs to think that you can do it before they can recommend you for that next level. Somebody has to. So you can have 2 people on the same job role. They got in at entry level in 2008. And then in 3 years, one person takes 2 steps, pam, 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 and the next one is still there, and 10 years is still complaining. Somebody's eyes has not been opened to the quality of work that you bring. You do a lot of work, but they don't think that you deserve the next level. So somebody needs to know that you truly deserve that next level. And that's why one of the cheapest way, apart from bringing quality work, I'm saying you must bring quality work. Apart from bringing quality work, is that you also dress well. I learned this many years ago, that if you are looking for your next level, when you're on one job, you're on job 1 or stage 1 or level 1, make sure you are not dressing like level 1. Dress like level 2. So that people around you that can recommend you for level 2, when they are looking and sitting down and taking decisions, so who do we increase their salary? Who do we promote for this level? Who do we recommend for this level? You already look like level 2. Even though you are in level 1, they will call your name. Because promotion in the workplace is firstly a work of perception. It's a matter of what? Perception. I think you can do it. I think you can do it. I've been in a place where they were hiring people before. About 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I was in a place where my boss at that time was hiring for a new manager. I was a new person, so she just asked me to come in to take notes and stuff like that. And I heard that she was just saying, well, after they had done the interview for about 5 people, they were now making conclusion. They were now saying, yeah, based on that, I think this guy, everything is always I think. Because they don't know you. They will just listen to you for about 30 minutes or 1 hour of the interview, and then they will say, I think this person can do this. I don't think this person can. And that's how you cancel people's name, and then you post people's name. the responsibility for people to think positively about you is not on God. Are you following me? That's why you don't go anywhere just dressing anyhow. You don't go anywhere just talking anyhow. When you talk anyhow, we will all laugh and we say, ha 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 ha, and say, he's a very funny girl. She's a very funny boy. But when it comes to serious matter, we will not mention your name because we think that you cannot be serious. Are you following me now? So we have to be very moderate in terms of what we're doing. There's a balance, fine balance. Be funny. I listen, in fact, of late, in the last 2 weeks, I fell in love with, so to speak, with Trevor Noah. So I didn't know it was that good though. Amen. If you have listened to Trevor Noah before, how many of us have listened? I watched him and I watched for like 1 hour as if I was listening to a message. I said, this guy is so skillful. He just be moving from, and he knows how to mimic. He just keeps mimicking. I said, what? This guy is good. Very good. But you know how, he's a comedian. And so we can take him as that. And he makes money from that. So if you don't make money from your humor, then you must balance it. He's not paying you, he's not paying your bills. Then don't show up everywhere being funny and looking stupid. Somebody is making money from it. So when you find somebody like, who can I mention? There's this guy that usually wears blue shirts all the time for his kids. Wears the ties. And then when he's done with his stupid stuff, you know, say, good morning, sir. Or good afternoon, sir. And then he walks away and starts crying. That is how his family. Thank you, sir. How his family. That is Sabi News. He's making money from it. If you are not making money from your laugh or your unseriousness, let's tone it down a little bit. When people want to recommend you for serious things, they will look at your persona. Look at what you bring to it. It's perception. Perception. I don't know if I'm making any sense to anyone this morning. Next thing, apart from perception, is that now is a perception of the quality of work that you bring and the skills that you also bring that you had to the work. So that quality of work is not the God's responsibility, but yours. Either in business or either on your career, quality work is required. See, when we say people are Nigerian entrepreneurs are bad, they like to squeeze you and get everything out. The truth is they are looking for quality. I truly can also not be paying your salary and then you'll be coming at 10 o'clock and then it's 10 to 6 or 10 to 5 or 10 to 4 and then you shortchange me by coming at 10 a.m. And when you still come at 10 a.m., I have to still instruct you on what to do every time. I told you yesterday, I told you last week, I'm telling you again, why won't I shout? I will shout. Because I cannot be partying with that money, even if it's 10,000, even if it's 50,000 naira, I cannot part it and not expect you to deliver quality of work for me. So that's why people get stuck sometimes. You have to understand, first of all, perception is what I've talked about. Number 2 is the quality of work. And number 3 is your skill sets. The level of skills that you have. The level of skills that you have. Very, very important. So, I was talking to somebody in this church and we were just smiling. I was very excited because he was telling me he was doing some training. I was saying, wow, fantastic. And he said he will spend time, hours at night, hours a day, and then he will sit down with his computer and he's learning something new. He's a married person. And then there are single boys and single girls in this church. I've never had a conversation about skills and you learning something. We're wrong now. Skills. I am not going to hire you because you know how to speak in tongues. Praise God. You are not going to be hired because you fasted for 45 days. We've done 45 days. Even me, I fasted for 45 days. But when I'm looking for a job outside church, I don't say I have the ability to fast for 45 days and I can pray for this company. That's not, if they are looking for that, they will come to church. They are not looking for, you're looking for a business development manager. You're not going to say, Biri 3 days. When I enter the market, we will win. No. They are looking for skills. In fact, if you want to work with Heritage Church, for instance, I also am not looking for somebody that can fast and that can do biri biri. No, that's not why I hired you. We will do it, but that's not the main reason. Skills, number one. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 23. Whatever you do, whatever your task may be, work from the soul. That is, put in your very best effort as something done for the Lord and not for men. Either you're a banker or you're a banker, or you are whatever. You work in a store, you are learning trade, anything you do at all, anything you do, as long as it's labor, whatever that task may be, work from the soul and put in your best at all times. You know what it means to work from your soul? It means that you're working with all of your heart. When you get to a level where your creativity or your creative juice is being used and it's coming out, it's oozing out, you're working from your soul. It means that your boss gives you a job to do, or your client gives you a brief, and you are going to work on that brief or on that job, and then you actually sit down as if it is your own. You own it. You take ownership of that particular project. And then you allow yourself to meditate on what that person wants to do. And then by the time you are done with your thinking and with, your creativeness and everything, when you have put it into it, when you are talking to that customer or talking to your boss about what the person has told you initially, in fact, you paint it more beautifully than they actually envisaged. That's you working from your soul. So you sell land or something, the person just tells you, I just want a place where I want to buy a piece of property where on the main road, just a good place where at least there'll be traffic and all that. There'll be a lot of people passing through. And then you as a realtor, you're not just thinking of, some people, their own is just find a place, let him buy and let him collect my money and let me move on. But you are thinking beyond what that person is seeing. You are foreseeing that you want to create a filling station. Let me find you a place where there is already business, where there are supermarkets around, where there are communities and, portions of other business around where people can converge, so that it's not just people who want to buy fuel, but if you want to even make your hair, you just remember that, there's a difference between just filling station alone. So the tendency for me to go into a filling station to buy fuel when the only thing there is fuel is when I'm actually running on empty. But if you create other businesses around that, I will stop. As long as I'm around that business, there's a chance I will say, that's okay. Let me just buy a little more. Because something brought you there, not the fuel. So you as a realtor, you're not just selling, looking for a place. You are thinking beyond what the brief they gave you. You are putting in extra. When you put in that extra, you are working from your soul. And that applies to all kinds of jobs and sectors. Give you a brief. Give you an assignment. Give you a task. Put in extra. Sit down and think of how best or how much more can I add to what has been given to me, what has been committed to me. Praise God. There's a dimension of service to God in all that we do. And our service to God does not end in church. Doesn't end in church. Oh, I sing, I dance, I take children, I take announcements, I am the usher, I man the camera. That is good. But outside of the church, the service to God continues on your job. On your job. On your job. On your job. So back to guys who feel underpaid. You don't earn enough from that job. Continue to put your best. Continue to put your best. And then while you are at that job, you can now put your eyes out there to find better opportunities. As you are putting your best and adding more skills to yourself, then one day, somebody who can pay you more for what you are giving out will hire you for it. Somebody else will hire you. I've seen people who are earning like 200,000 and they were complaining 200,000 for like 6 years. 200. The next job they had was not 200. They didn't even ask them. Sometimes HR people, and okay, you understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes in interviews, they will ask you, so what was your previous salary? That question can be very annoying, you know. You know why it's annoying? They will not, HIV will always defend it because their KPI is different from you. Their own KPIs will help the companies to save costs. So they want to ensure that we get the best hands as the cheapest price possible. So your own is to find how you can earn more and deliver more. Everybody's KPI is different. So when they ask you, so what were you earning before? You know that the real Christian will not want to lie. Will not want to lie. But you can pray that God can give you jobs where they will not even ask you how much you were earning. And sometimes you can even tell them how much you were earning, but by the time you see your offer letter, they will ignore what you said you were earning. So back to the story, I've heard of somebody who was earning about maybe 200 or thereabouts. By the time he got his next job, he was getting like #1 million. You don't jump like that. It's not normal. It takes God. Because when they want to raise you, you're moving from company A to company B at 150 or 200, the best they usually give you like 25 or 50% increase. So when you do 50% on 250, how much is that? Roughly maybe 100,000 extra. So you come with like 350. It's not bad, but you know that your life needs more than 350. What you are dealing with is more than 350. So you need God to change you. So when will you now start earning #1 million? It's going to take a long time because the next person gave you 350. By the time you get on the next one, he gave you 500. What Joe going to pay over #1 million? You feel like I'll have retired though. Praise God. But there are young people who are less than 35 who are earning like over #1 million. I know them. One guy told me last year. It's somebody I know. It's not like I heard. Someone where we finished from same secondary school, same sets. Then we just talk about jobs and all that. And that's why I'm just saying all these things, not for joke, just so you understand that there are opportunities elsewhere, everywhere. He said that one day he rejected a job. I said, why? He said it was small that I can't earn 1.5 million naira again. So I had to refer that job to somebody else. He didn't tell me how much he was earning, but he said 1.5 million. No, I earned that one. That was a long time ago. I'm like, what? In this country? And this guy does not even live outside. He doesn't even like you. He lives in Ikorodu. So that's what I'm talking about. That's it. There are levels of, there are possibilities everywhere. But come back to your skills. Nobody wants to throw away money. No employer wants to. So your skills, especially if you are young, there must be something if you are not earning, you should be learning. If you are not earning now or earning enough, it means that you have not learned enough to earn that much. One time, like I met somebody again, who was telling me this one was very ridiculous in a sense. As at 2016, he told me that he said, I have over 10 million naira in my pension scheme. As in pension, that's just waiting for him to. 2016, how many years ago? That's about 7-8 years ago. Like, what? At the time he was telling me that he had 10 million, I had 150,000. See the gap between, I had 150,000 naira in my pension savings, my PFA. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. He had 10 million. I'm like, if I look at his age and my age, I don't think he's more than 5 years older than I am. Those kind of moments where you feel like, I'm like, no. I said, life, you balance. Go balance. I'm like, okay, so even if you are 5 years older than me, and you started this job 5 years earlier than me, add 5 years to my job, I still will not be where you are. I said, no. Life will balance. But really, there were a lot of things I knew that I didn't know. When that guy talks, I keep quiet. That guy is good. If you are good at your, as in, I'm telling you, somebody is so good on his job, so good on his job. Until you get to that level, nobody will part with millions to pay you without thinking that they are cheating themselves. You need to skill up to a point where people pay you and they don't feel like you use jazz on them. You know what I mean by that? You can get a contract now And after the person has, contract can be one of a contract. Sorry, and then I got 10 million naira from it. If you use jazz, the person can, after the job, the person can feel like, what was I thinking? If I want 10 million like that. That can happen with contracts, one-off businesses, but it can't happen with a salary. Because if they pay you first month, no delivery. Second month, person will sit down and say, what's going on here? This man is not delivering now, and I'm paying him this much. Third month, somebody will sit you down and say, sir, what you said you will do, you have not done. We'll give you 1 more month or give you 2 months extra. If you don't deliver, we'll show you the way out. Skills. Quality of work. So, in closing, because of time, I wish I could get to the next point, but I can't get to, so I'll move it all. So next week, there'll be a lot to talk about. But I hope you were blessed this morning. So I want us to get here, live here, revitalized, and energized for work. Understand that, your boss can be wicked. Your boss can be kind, but it's not really your boss. You are serving God in that organization. You have a business, you have clients. No, you are doing it for the Lord, not just because of money. You are doing as unto God. It will help your conscience. And next thing that we talked about is the quality of your job, your perception, the perception of people around you towards you, quality of work, and then your skill set. I hope with these few words of mine, I've been able to bless you and convince you. Praise God. Let's stand to our feet, people of God. Let's stand to our feet and let's celebrate God this morning.